Today's episode of Daily Scuba News is sponsored by Divemaster Insurance, but more about them later. So, have you been ever losing sleep over the age-old question of why are some mantas black?
All the time!
But like serious black, and not just the normal black and white kind of mottled manta colour, but, you know, proper black. And why are black mantas so unevenly distributed around the world? Well, if you have been losing sleep over this, then you really need to get a life. No, it is quite interesting, but actually you can finally rest now, until you remember the fact that we have antibiotic-resistant superbugs.
So a new study has just been released that might mean you get a peaceful night's sleep until you just, think about what Mark just said. Anyway, melanism, is that how it's pronounced? As it's effectively called, is common in land animals, but pretty rare amongst ocean folk. Animals with darker pigmentation of their skin or fur are known as colourmorphs. And at sea, these mantas are the most common exhibit of this trait.
So most mantas have a dark grey back and a mainly white underside, and it's a form of camouflage. But most black mantas are almost entirely black instead of grey, except for a central sort of white blaze on their underside. So scientists from the Marine Megafauna Foundation investigated the melanism in these sort of gothic mantas, and using Manta Matcher, which is a global database of identifying photographs and records of encounters with mantas, which is a cool thing. You should definitely check that out.
Tinder.
Yeah. Swipe right. So basically, they found out some rather cool stuff about these black mantas. But before we tell you about that, here's a word from today's sponsors.
Divemaster Insurance is your one-stop shop where it comes to scuba diving insurance. They provide a fast and easy way to book all your travel insurance requirements online, no matter whether you're going on a single trip, extended stay, or planning an annual multi-trip. Divemaster Insurance has got you covered.
So you can even insure your dive equipment through them as well. So to read more T's and C's, to find out the very best policy for your diving trip, and to get your simple no obligation quote, just click on the link pinned in the comments. Divemaster Insurance, the diving insurance specialists. And back to the story.
So where black mantas like to cruise, they make around about 40% of the population, which is actually pretty impressive. But in all other locations, they were pretty absent out. So you can only find them in localized spots. So yeah, I guess when they like a spot, they really like a spot, and they don't really like to go anywhere else, which makes sense, I guess so. The main places they like to chill, though, is the West Papua,
Near Indonesia.
which is near Indonesia, and in Ecuador.
So that kind of South Pacific type area.
Yeah, it's near Margate, isn't it?
But very localized spots, so they're kind of endemic to just sort of one little area. But the app the app and research tells us where they hang out and that they only do it in select areas, but it doesn't really explain why there are black mantas. So black mantas find it harder to blend into their surroundings because they're less camouflaged than other mantas, and it turns out that's a good thing. So black mantas aren't targeted as much by their predators as other mantas, probably because they don't quite look like a normal manta. So most predators don't touch them. They kind of look at it and go, "You kind of shape like a manta, but you look a bit different.
I ain't going near."
I'm gonna leave." Yeah. So it's an evolutionary process called aposematism.
Oh, I wrote that bit, aposematism, that was all me.
What does it mean?
It means...
Give me an example of aposematism.
your mum?
Oh.
Hello. So in other words, being less camouflaged means they're actually protected more. Now that's a bit of a twist. So they are black due to evolution saying, hey, if you stay this colour, you actually won't get eaten. And the more they survive, obviously to breeding age, the more black mantas we have in the world. So that's why we actually have more localised areas. That's actually pretty cool. So it's anti-evolution.
No,
but it is evolution.
It is evolution.
No, it's anti.
But it's anti-camouflage.
Yeah, anti-camouflage, but pro-evolution. You're such a liberal.
Just anyway, I studied this at university.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you have a degree in what we're talking about? You don't come off the street like me going, "What's a manta?"
I just read the script.
Okay. Although the team haven't been able to identify the gene responsible for the melanism, all we know is that black mantas exist, and and why they're hard to find. So it's kind of, they've found some bits. they've kind of got.
They're learning
rule
more
of thumb.
about
Yeah,
it. They're
exactly
not just
that.
like these rogue mantas. They're actually sort of breeding and sort of
Yes.
creating little groups and thriving.
Yeah, I do like the fact that they're like, oh look, we don't need to camouflage ourselves. We'll just completely change our pigment.
Yeah, just goth it up.
Goth it up. I bet you were a goth.
No.
Yeah, but you were. If I find some pictures of Goth Mark, I'll put them up right now.
You're going to Photoshop some pictures of Goth Mark, aren't you?
No, my skills aren't that good. Anyway, we're going to leave it today. That's going to be the end of today's show. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, thanks to Dive Master Insurance for sponsoring this one. Thank you very much. Again, don't forget to hit that like button. You got to smash that subscribe button, and of course, you got to ring that bell. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay classy, scuba divers. The first programme was held in late September this year and went down so well with both teams that they actually plan to do it again.
So on the day, 10 children had an induction into the awesome world that we all know as scuba diving. They also did some quizzes and other fun beach activities. They of course had some time in the pool getting used to the equipment